That's all good.
Hey, good evening, everybody. We are so glad to have some special guests here. We actually have a couple of proclamations that we're going to do before we officially call our meeting to order, and we're going to recognize our Great Crossing High School Warhawks, and then let's do leave here and go to the school board for another one. So we're very proud to have you here, and very, very happy for you all, the accomplishment that you all did, the teamwork that it took, and all the work that went into it. We just salute you, and you've represented our community with class and just grit, and just really, really appreciate the way you did your business, and proud of you. So proud of you. And I know how hard it is. In my former life, I was principal at the high school, and then even before then, though, I coached high school basketball at Tates Creek High School. So what you all did special, and you should really hold on to it for a long time. And when they call you back in 5 years, and 10 years, and 20 years to do those reunions, make sure you go, because what you all have done is very, very special. So I've got a proclamation to read, and I'm going to try to pronounce everybody's names the best I can. So, honoring the Great Crossing High School Warhawks boys basketball team for winning the 2025 KHSAA Sweet 16 State Championship. Whereas the Great Crossing Warhawks finished the 2024-2025 basketball season with a record of 35-4, winning the 11th region tournament and advancing to the KHSAA Sweet 16 tournament in Rupp Arena. And whereas in the KHSAA Sweet 16 tournament, the Great Crossing Warhawks defeated Davies County 69-37 in the first round, defeated Cooper 49-36 in the quarterfinal, defeated Montgomery County 70-49 in the semis, and defeated Bowling Green 71-61 in the final, winning every game by double-digit margins en route to winning the state championship. And whereas the Great Crossing Warhawks exhibited hard work, dedication, and teamwork, winning the first state championship in school history in only the 6th year of the boys basketball program, and whereas the Great Crossing Warhawks team members are L.J. Holman, Vince Dawson III, Ryan Payne, Trevante Cooper, Graham Schwartz, Jamari Mason, Gage Richardson, Ozzie Ismail, and Jordan Kuntz, Noah Dade, Javante Dean, Malachi Moreno, Colt DeLimpo, and Brady Orem. And whereas the Great Crossing Warhawks are led by head coach Steve Page, assistants Freddie McCoy, Vince Dawson, Tamron Manning, Eric Moore, and Davis Sheehan, special assistant Thomas Baldridge, managers Thomas Taylor, Braden Contino, Caleb Sandeman, Connor Baldridge, and Kyra Dalton. Bookkeeper Jamie Lee, announcer Steve Maynard, and Kaz Clay, clock operator Joe Campbell and Doug Jasper, stats Jason Taylor and Dustin Parkey, trainers Morgan McDaniel and Bailey Reeser, and then principal of all the Warhawks, Joy Lusby, and our own Austin Haywood, athletic director. Whereas senior Malachi Moreno was named Kentucky Mr. Basketball and was honored as a McDonald's All-American, and seniors Vince Dawson III and Gage Richardson were named to the Sweet 16 All-Tournament team, and Malachi Moreno was named the Sweet 16 Most Valuable Player. Whereas the Great Crossing Warhawks represented their school and their community with character, tenacity, teamwork, dedication, and commitment to excellence. Now, therefore, let it be known that the Scott County Fiscal Court and Judge Executive Joe Pat Covington hereby congratulate, honor, and praise the Great Crossing High School Warhawks boys basketball team for winning the 2025 KHSAA Sweet 16 State Championship, dated the 24th day of April. Joy, would you like to say a few things about these young people?
I just want to say that it is just with ridiculous pride that I come here tonight with them. They are the show. I'm just obviously the spokesperson here, but I am the proudest principal you could ever imagine of these young men. And they fought hard last year, and I just think that gave them the energy or the juice that they needed to take it one more step this year. They were not going to let this go, and you said it, they did it with grit, they did it with class, and they were just so strong through the whole tournament, and they kept their head through the whole tournament, and I don't know, I'm just so proud of them, and I'm so proud to call every single one of these kids Warhawks, and Steve Page and these coaches Warhawks too.
Coach Page, a few words?
No, I obviously echo what she said. We appreciate first and foremost you guys for having us. It's great to represent our community as much as anything. And I think our team does a great job of not only representing our school, but representing the people of the community. At the end of the day, I tell them all the time, the way we act out in the community is the way they're going to look at our entire program. So I love how they represent everybody. And it's while we love to win, and we're here because we won. You wouldn't have us here if we weren't really good kids, really good citizens of our community. But say like Ms. Lovely said, we're so proud of the kids for making it happen this year.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Austin, anything?
Just echo what they said. Really proud of these guys, and really just their character, and again, what they mean to this community, and what they'll mean for the future of our community.
Let's give them a big hand. All right. Let's really, I cannot tell you how proud we are. David, you got something to say?
No, that was shocking, right?
Hey, Judge, I do have one thing I want to say. I want to say that I've had some of them as my students, and they're not only good, they're glad that they're not in 8th grade anymore, I promise you. But they're not only good athletes, they are good students. And scholars, I appreciate you all taking care of your business in the classroom as well as on the court. So
you all know people like to talk, and talk's cheap, but like I didn't hear anything but great things about your character, your work ethic, and that means so much. That means so much. And then you did it on top of that and finished the job. That you should be so proud of yourself. And I know Austin and Ms. Lusby are working on getting rings for you, and that's gonna take place. And you ought to be proud and wear that thing with great pride. Y'all care to come up and take one picture with us? Good.
Y'all lined up well.
presented Regina with credentials, and it's KQS, the very first credentialing ceremony, and I'm going to just read a little narrative. It was held at the State Emergency Operations Center, and it's a proud day for Kentucky Emergency Management. History was made. The first two people ever officially credentialed through the Kentucky Qualification System, KQS. A special ceremony was celebrated. Mr. Dustin Heiser and Ms. Regina Kraft for successfully completing the tough training. And Regina was the first. We're just going on record saying that. And tough training and education need to earn this credential. Both Mr. Heiser and Ms. Kraft are now certified to serve on incident management teams, IMTs. These teams help manage large disasters, big public events by keeping things safe, organized, and running smoothly. It takes a lot of knowledge and experience to do that. And thanks to KQS, Kentucky now has its first officially qualified team members. So this is huge in the world of emergency management, and we salute you for being just a student of your craft and going out and doing what you needed to do to get this credential. And it just makes our emergency management team stronger. So, Mike and Regina, thank you. Mike, would you like to say anything? And Regina.
I just want to say that in order to get to this credential, you had to be deployed to national disaster at least 3 times. You had to show qualifications and skills in doing what you're doing. It's really not an easy task to get to where she got, and to be the first person in Kentucky to accomplish that is an even bigger task. So I just want to say how proud we are to have her on our team and part of this country.
First and foremost, thank you all for allowing me to go. It's like I said in the state, if it wasn't for these people backing me up and letting me go on these deployments, I would never be where I'm at right now. And I have to honestly say, if it wasn't for my husband who lets me go away for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, I still would get to go. But it's been a journey, and I've really enjoyed every minute of it. I just appreciate it.
All right. Rick, take one step out. Yeah, 1, 2.
Keep going. 1, 2, 3.
Now, don't sit down. Let's stand and start our meeting. You all would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Let us pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. We will now officially call our meeting to order, and this is the 24th of April, and this is the business meeting for the Scott County Fiscal Court. Ms. Hamilton, will you call the roll?
Mr. Hostetler?
Present.
Mr. Jones? Mr. Wallace?
Here.
Mr. Corman?
Present.
Mr. Ellison?
Here.
Mr. Pratt? Mr. Livingston?
Here.
Mr. Morris?
Here.
Judge Covington?
Present. We have a quorum and we can proceed. Appreciate everybody's efforts to be here with us tonight, and we've got some items here, and we've got some guests from KYTC. So we will start this with the annual CRA and LGA hearing, and I'll read the public notice. Budget hearing regarding proposed use of county road aid, CRA, and local government economic Assistance LGEA funds. A public hearing will be held by the Scott County Fiscal Court at the courthouse on April 24th at 6 p.m. for the purpose of obtaining citizens' comments regarding the possible uses of CRA and LGEA funds. All interested citizens of Scott County are invited to submit a verbal or written comment on possible uses of the CRA and LGEA funds. Any persons who cannot submit written comments or attend the public hearing but wishes to submit comments should contact the office of the county judge executive by April 23rd at 9 a.m. so that arrangements can be made to secure their comments. This ad was ran on 4/15/24. With that said, were there anything
There were
submitted?
no comments, but JR has his
Okay.
presentation.
JR, how are you? Put the celebrities first, Casey.
This year's paving budget, 25-26, I'd like to recommend Morgan Manor Drive, Helm Court, Lena Court, which is all off Morgan Manor Drive, Stone Horse Lane, Cane Run Road, Locust Grove, Suterville Road, Harper Village Drive, Lakeside Drive, and Sims Road. That's a total of about 12.1 miles, approximately $1.2 million in repaving.
Questions or comments for JR? JR, as we all know, travel these roads on a daily basis, and I put great faith in his recommendation.
We have to approve it.
The recommendation.
Yeah. I'll make a motion for approval, Judge.
So we have a motion. We got a second. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. With
Thank you.
that said, JR, thank you. Now we're going to go on to the. Do we need to do anything else with LGEA?
No,
Okay. Next, we.
we haven't in the past.
So, number 5, minutes of the previous meeting. Any questions or comments related to those as presented? Motion from Rick Hostetler. Second from Kelly Corman. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Transfers. Any questions or comments? Motion from Kelly Corman, second from Chad Wallace. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Bills and hand checks as presented. Any questions or comments?
Motion.
Motion from David Livingston, second from Rick Hostetler. Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Let the record reflect that Dwayne Ellison and Rob Jones completed their training units. Let's give them a hand. Yeah, no plaque.
We'll get a picture at the end.
And then just number 9, talking about timelines. We have sent out a summary draft summary via email, and next week we will share a comprehensive detailed summary or detailed draft budget but prior to our work session on Friday. Goal will be to get it to you on Wednesday before close of business, so it'll give you a little time to look at. That is just a draft. We will have a presentation on Friday the 2nd during the work session. The whole work session will be devoted to the budget. We will go over different requests, and Michelle will have some presentation, Jeff will have some presentation, I will as well. And then our goal is to have a first reading on May 22nd. So we'll have another meeting on May 9th to discuss any questions or or make any comments and discussions on May 9th. So no action required on this. It's just sharing information and timelines with you all.
Budget committee get together the time before the extra dates.
I think I'm going to try to schedule one for Wednesday. We were scheduled already for the 1st. Yes, but I think I would like to see if availability is on Wednesday, and then we'll share that information. So we'll go from there. With that said, if there's no other questions, then we will move down to District 7 presentation, rural secondary road projects. Francis, how are you?
Good, thanks. I got handouts for the agenda, just a slight correction.
I'll take one.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So replace the one I have with this one, right?
Judge, I wasn't going to be here tonight, but I knew Casey was coming and he wanted to get my questions. And so I made a special trip to.
He told him, Chad even told his family they had to go on their own, leave him behind.
Okay, I'll go over quickly how the rural secondary program works, and then we'll go over our recommendations for fiscal year 2026. The rural secondary program is a KRS state mandated program funded by 22.2 of the motor fuel tax revenue. 90% is released to the Department of Rural Municipal Aid, and then the amount that's allocated per county is based on the FITS formula. 1/5 equals share, 1/5 rural road mileage, 2/5 rural population, and 1/5 rural population, 2/5 rural land area. So that's the Scott County's initial allocation. That's where that 20% comes from for the flex funding. Just to go ahead and answer your question, yeah. So that's where that number comes from. Yeah.
Clarification.
Yeah. KYTC offers a flex program based on the state maintenance rating of the rural secondary routes in your county, and Scott County got a B, so that comes out to the 20%. Going to go over the handout at the top. We've added in the resurfacing cycle. It's at 19 to 30 year resurfacing, which isn't ideal, but we work with what we got. If you look on the back, you can see everything we've resurfaced in the past 10 years, including our recommendations for the rural secondary recommendation and the flex recommendation. You go back to the front, you'll see the 2024 and the 2025 projects. I don't know if we have any updates regarding those. If they're not let, they will be soon. For 2026 RS recommendation, we are, and to clarify with the budget, all numbers will be, if it's not spent this year, it'll carry over next year. You don't lose funding. So the money stays with the county. So although the RS recommendation is lower than the amount allocated for RS projects, the money will still stay with Scott County's RS funding.
Okay.
Okay. So the 2026 recommendation, we're saying for Newtown Pike, from the intersection of Coal Ridge, from about half mile in from Fayette County to Coal Ridge Lane, and then for 2026, it's the Legacy Trail roundabout. I think we're going to allocate the 2026 and 2027 flex funds for that, for the match. And I guess, is there any questions, clarifications you need? We need two motions, one to approve the rural secondary recommendation, and the second to approve the flex recommendation.
I'd point out to you, before any other questions, Coal Ridge there on the back, if you'll look, where Newtown Pike, you can see where it says FY 2026. The thicker orange is highlighted there at Coal Ridge, runs across 460, and then all the way up to that termination point into Fayette County, or shy of Fayette County, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a weird part of Newtown Pike that's not technically rural secondary, right in Scott County, that goes over the rural secondary road system. So
Does it go all the way to Eastern Elementary, or?
I'm not sure.
Coal Ridge is just shy of Eastern.
I do appreciate the potholes being fixed out. That stretch right there.
Yeah.
They were really some tough ones.
Now, Chad, do you have a comment, question?
Yeah, I just want to make sure, Francis. So for the rural secondary, I know Ironworks at Burton Pike's on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe I asked Master Hofstadter if Burton had been done. I don't think it has been done. Is that correct? But Ironworks, that's got to be done by June 30th. Is that correct?
Casey's ready.
Just go ahead and stay up here, Casey.
I brought my notebook because I'm sure I'm going to be writing down some notes. So. Yeah, those recommendations from the FY 25, those were actually just recently awarded to construction. So we are looking at having that, in the June 30th deadline actually for completion.
And that's with Hamilton and Hinkle, I assume.
I'm sorry?
It's with Hamilton and Hinkle. Is that correct?
Gary and Nunn, I think it's a new name. I was not.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with it, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Comments? So we need two motions. One is to approve the recommended rural secondary project as presented today for Kentucky 922. Motion. Second.
For the Orange Diamond?
Yes.
Okay, who was that?
Motion from Dwayne, second from Kelly. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And then the second motion that we would need is to approve the recommended rural secondary projects using flex funds for FY 26 and 27. Questions or comments? That would be on Kentucky 1963 on Lyle Road. Motion. Second by David Livingston. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
When did you get here?
Just now.
Yeah.
Did you vote on the Orange Diamond?
Yes, he did. So I should have said, let the record reflect that he was here now. So we have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Much appreciated. That was easy.
Oh, I'm not done, Judge.
I thought I was going to let Casey and Francis get out of here.
I was getting ready to skedaddle here.
Can we take a break?
Yeah, y'all go have
Full
time.
recess here.
I'll make it quick, Casey. I don't have much.
Okay, sure.
All right, so where are we at with the intersection
Francis.
at Paynes Depot and Leestown Road?
Yes, so with that project, we've actually had to utilize some of our highway safety improvement funding to get into final design, so we should be ready to enter into the right-of-way and utility phases when we get to the next highway plan. I've explained it, I believe it might have been in the judge's meeting, but we actually talked about the funding source that was actually applied in the last highway plan. They utilized national highway funding, which is, we always ask for federal funds in order to keep projects moving. However, it was the wrong set of funds, unfortunately. So the national highway funds is actually supposed to be utilized on the national highway system, of which US 421 is not part of that system. It actually follows I-64. So given that, we decided to utilize our highway safety improvement program funding to keep that project moving into final design, and then for the next highway plan, we'll seek appropriate federal funding to get ourselves into the right-of-way, utility, and construction phases of that project.
So it was in the biennium budget, and so what you're saying is that project's going to be shifted into the next biennium budget, which would be all the way to 28. Is that correct?
Yeah, the 2026, but yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. The second thing, as far as on 460, all right, so I know that in Kelly's district, there's going to be repaving done on 460 to the east. Am I right in saying that? Yeah.
Are you talking about the 460
Yeah.
widening project?
Yeah.
Improvement, safety
widening
improvement?
project. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I know you all have talked about it. Are you looking at 460 to the west? And I know there's some federal funding that comes down for that kind of stuff. We've done 25 all the way to Grant County in the past. We've done Main Street. Where you have any updates on that?
Well, of course, yeah, we do have the US 460 over on the east side of the county, which we are continuing that widening. That would include like Newtown Pike and pretty much just short of the I-75 interchange. To the west, actually, we do something in between. We do have a microsurfacing project that would be beginning over at Paynes Depot and continuing all the way out to, I believe it's Faulkner Road. So going pretty much where we're going to be ending the widening project. That microsurfacing project, of course, is really a routine maintenance type thing. So instead of putting the 1.5-inch surface that we normally put in on projects, they'll do some milling and then put in about 3/4 of an inch in order to extend the life of the pavement. So that's what we got going on for this year. We anticipate that project will be completed sometime in the September time frame.
Okay. The last thing is Limestone Farms is, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but there is a new distillery that has been approved to be built, and it's on the intersection of Paynes Depot and the bypass, and it's down. There's already a permitted entrance into that.
Yeah.
Have you have any idea about what kind of traffic devices they're going to put in? Is it going to be a stoplight? Is it going to be a J-turn?
Yeah, I think that there might be some possibilities of turn lanes that could be implemented, with that entrance. I'll have to check though to make sure of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the traffic generation is going to be for that distillery. That's usually something that our permit section would make that call, whether traffic impact study would be necessary. So, but that's something I could look to see. But generally, we would not be seeing just all of a sudden a traffic signal pop up, at the intersection. A lot of times
It's pretty close to. Yeah, I know y'all don't like them too close to each other.
The spacing is not ideal really for a signal. So I think what we would be looking at would be a ride-in, ride-out only type of entrance, or putting in turn lanes in order to prevent rear-end collisions as people are turning into that property. So, but I'll have to verify that for you.
And do you have an update on by Southland, or is that?
No, we've met and talked and are trying to make sure we're talking about the intersection of McClellan Circle and Pleasant View.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that at length and looking at what can we do to improve the safety of that intersection, and signalizing it is not what KYTC would recommend as the best option. What KYTC recommends as the best option is a R-cut, and very similar to what happened over by Kroger and
Hemingway
right there.
Yes,
I hated the idea, but I love the implementation.
So
I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. They were just more right.
We really pleased to hear that.
Last conversation we had, we were trying to kind of just get a good estimate on what utilities existed there that might need to be moved, the possibility of KYTC possibly doing the design, and then in that intersection, part of the development plan was that the developer there had to agree to support traffic safety measures in that intersection, and it was mentioned in the development plan a possible signal.
Yeah.
Well, if KYTC does not prefer and doesn't believe that's the best option, then we need to approach the developer about contributing towards the R-cut.
Yeah.
So that's where we're.
So you're still in that process.
We're in that process, but like I would like to bring something to you all here in the next couple of months to kind of get this moving forward. I think it's very important to do. Casey, this is a tough one, and Lieutenant Brenniger's here, and I don't know if it was last Friday, but there was a fatality in the intersection of McClellan and US 25 on the south side of town. It was a motorcycle that was struck by a car that cut in front of that vehicle on a yellow. And that intersection continues to have a lot of collisions, and I don't know if this is the second fatality. Lieutenant Brenniger?
Second fatality within a year.
Second in a year. So is there any way that we could do any analysis and assessment there? Anything we can do to increase safety there? I mean, it's a wide intersection, and I think that adds to it, but you have so much volume of traffic there as well. And I know you don't have a magic wand, but if you could put that on your list of things that, hey, let's look at that, we would surely appreciate it.
Casey, one other thing, I was thinking about this. So the widening of US 25, which we call it Lexington Roads. It's Georgetown Road up in Lexington.
Yeah.
Do you have a timeline of when that's going to start? I guess it's all the way up to Citation, I think, is up there by Wabasto.
Yeah. So we actually have identified 2 sections of US 25. It goes from Spur Road all the way up to Ironworks. We made the break over at Kearney Road, which is the road that's right there by our maintenance garage. We are prioritizing the northern section, going up to Ironworks, and right now we are working on the appraisals for right-of-way. We've updated the plans because those plans have been sitting on the shelf for probably, 15 years or so. And so we got all that taken care of. We're working on appraisals. The right-of-way and utility phases are probably going to last about 2 years to be completed for everything to be cleared. However, we do have good solid funding on that and strong support, I think, from our state leaders on continuing that project. So I would expect, sometime around the timeline of 2 years that we'll be in construction on that part. Now the southern section from Kearney going down to Spur Road, of course, that would be immediately following. So we just needed to space out those 2 sections of roadway simply because for budgeting reasons. Mm-hmm. And so we'll be able to focus on a priority section first, and then immediately following in the next budget cycle, get onto the second half.
That's all I have, Judge.
Rick?
So, going back to McClellan, are we still talking about that right in, right out at Lesby Path, because there was a fatality there in the last couple of years?
That was mentioned in our meeting, and also
Real keen on McClellan and 460.
Yes, but the Rural King, what's happening this summer at the Rural King on 460 is that's going to be repaved, and our hope is if we could coordinate, and we're going to send a formal letter, and I think it's the best thing, if we could coordinate with the paving being done, the repainting of the striping, and then if the city and what KYTC has indicated, if the city and the county would be willing to look at either the investment on the delineators or the continued maintenance, or maybe both, that would help get that done. And in my opinion, like I went home to let my dogs out about 5 o'clock or 4:30 or so. That is a huge traffic area, and people were trying to turn like it's just like a pretzel. People trying to turn in there from heading from east, and so. Yes, Rick, we're working on that as well, and we've talked about that, and I think that would be supported by KYTC too, I believe. So, but Lesby, right in, right out, we've talked about it, but feel like this would impact a lot as well. So, I'm optimistic that we can get that done too. So, any other questions?
I just have one. Mine's easy.
Sure.
The thing I get the most from people I talk to is this light literally right here at Broad Main Street, 460 and 25, that it seems shorter for the people on 460. All I hear is it backs up towards Stamping Ground continuously, and
Okay.
they keep asking me to have somebody look at it. So I don't know if somebody can look at
I looked at
the
it.
timing of the light. I don't know what you do.
I look at it every time I come through here.
I know the timing, or I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, that's something that we could bring up to our traffic section to see what improvements can be made. Sometimes the timing can be tweaked some, but then there are limits to it as well. So it may actually require a total reconfiguration of the lanes. But I'll mention.
Well, I think
to
it
the
also
traffic
starts
section.
right up here too, though, because when I was seriously coming from that way on my way to court, and the light was red here, so it backed up to this intersection, which caused the light was still green here, but then it just backed on up because of the way it was timed out that you just could not get the traffic flowing through it.
That
very
really
long.
takes coordination between the signals to make it operate
sometimes
effectively.
this way's backed up past almost to Kentucky Avenue. I mean, way back there. So
Yeah. Okay.
I hear that a lot in the mornings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In the mornings,
bring
too.
it up.
See? That's it. That's a small one. Little light.
Anything else?
In case you may know, as far as our field office over here on Maddox Street, I know that Austin left. Is Darren still in charge?
Darren, yes.
Have you all are closer to getting somebody in that office?
At Darren right now is still working.
Yeah. And, yeah.
He's been really responsible.
But Austin's been
that's
gone.
good, that's
He's
good.
been gone. Wow, 4 or 5 months I think now. So and y'all just hadn't found anybody yet.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Well, I want to say thank you on behalf of the Fiscal Court for your all's work and coordination, and really appreciate it. I was going to ask Zach. Zach, could you put that picture up that I just sent you? I want to personally thank you all as well on behalf of the Fiscal Court, the Sheriff's Office, and the family. Representative Pratt got this ball rolling previously, and then Sheriff Hampton or Representative Hampton, and then Senator Nunn and Representative Grossell helped move it along to get it completed. But honoring a true hero, Caleb Conley, naming US 62 all through Scott County. Monday was a fantastic gesture. A small gesture for his big sacrifice and their family's sacrifice, but when anybody travels that road, they'll see that sign and think of him and his service to our nation and our country, and we're very appreciative of that and what KYTC does to help honor heroes like that. So that's any comment from anybody on the court there. Appreciate it so much.
Judge, I got the opportunity to be there, and that was a big day. That was a big deal.
No,
And good for the family.
absolutely. Small gesture, but just a meaningful gesture. I say that, and then I can't let you get out of here without one other thing. We got to toot our horn one more time. CCBIP, $969,160, and you all very helpful and responsive and help us walk through that application process with JR, and that means so much to our community because that money will open up those 2 bridges that are closed now. And if we had not received those funds, we would be putting that in our budget consideration, and it's just real. So thank you so much, and thanks KYTC for their help. Any comments on that? North Race Fork and Mount Horeb, and we're very appreciative. So.
Absolutely, we appreciate hearing the gratitude from the county. I can say that with Scott County we do have a pretty good coordination relationship. I feel like with all the projects that we do. So we really appreciate the positive coordination that we receive from this county. So
you all are professional. We'll let y'all get out of here. Thank you all.
All right. Hey, thank you all. Appreciate
it. Appreciate your time. Next thing is Chief John Ward is going to make a request for out-of-state travel.
Where are we going? Magistrates. Is it Anthony's Law first?
No, it's May.
July 1st is a Sunday.
May 5th through 9th, it'll be the Wisconsin, and this will be the, it's pre-construction. It's for the pumper that we ordered with the ladder and the 2 pumpers that we ordered together. So we're going to go up there, and initially the plan was we were going to do the 1 pumper by itself and then go back, but we were able to coordinate that to where we're only making that 1 pre-construction trip for all 3 pumpers. So it's May 5th through the 9th. And again, all the expenses are covered. That's part of the contract with the purchase of the apparatus. And then the members that are traveling will be myself, Assistant Chief Baxter, BC Oliver, Captain Barnett, Lieutenant Malloy, and Firefighter Grimes will be the ones that are going.
And you're doing 2. You're working on 2 pumpers, right?
3 pumpers.
3, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it'll be the 1 pumper that was ordered with the ladder, and then the 2 pumpers that were ordered together.
Now, John, you told me you were going like to Wisconsin Township outside of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Look at it. So it's the state of Wisconsin?
State of Wisconsin. It's Appleton, Wisconsin.
Okay, Appleton.
Yeah, don't make a motion, but I was about ready to withdraw.
I think most exciting thing they got there is cheese curds.
That's about it. Yeah.
Motion from Rick, second from David Livingston. With that said, any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
We're not bringing it back, right?
No, this is basically to go through basically the specs from page 1 to the end of it to make sure that, everything's good. Their engineering don't have questions on anything before they start the build process.
And will you be able to give us an update with a little tighter timeline of, hey, this is when we're hoping to have these delivered?
Yes.
From this, so that's good then.
Yeah.
And then our recruit class, they're full steam ahead.
Yeah, they're on week 2.
Week 2 of 14.
There's 11 of them. It's been a little challenging for us. Like I said, 11 people, and you're trying to go through these different drills, and we're just not used to having that many. So at one time, but our instructors that are coming in to teach, they're doing an outstanding job, and we're pressing on. We're looking forward to week 14, and then to get them on the truck. So.
You saw them running up the Great Cross.
Yeah, I think they went out there to do their initial PT stuff to get their baseline stuff. Yeah. So every morning before they even start training, they do an hour PT. Lieutenant Bennett has done an outstanding job with that, him and his crew. So they're getting them fit as well. So, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Then with that said, I sent an email later this afternoon. Now this is positive news. Drew, Becky, come on up. Drew shared that our friends at Younger Electric went about the lighting project in the natatorium at the pavilion in a different way, and it saved us on labor costs. And there's $21,605 that are left over, and Drew called and said, Judge, I've got some real needs out here at the pavilion. Is there any way that I could ask the court to consider using those funds on another needed project?
Is that needed?
What's that?
To ask us to.
Initially, it was allocated for specific.
I just thought it was very professional.
It is.
I could have been coaching baseball by then.
Doesn't the city own that building?
Technically, we paid for half of it, but we allocated the funds, and and it was specific. It was specific for. No, it's been. Yeah, but it was specific for the for the lighting project. But I just thought like
mostly wrong.
So you got a motion?
Oh, I'll second.
And a second.
The lighting project in the locker room.
No,
it's already done.
The lights are done. Yeah.
It's to reallocate the funds,
It's okay.
right?
Yeah, to reallocate the funds.
Yeah.
So, do we have any questions? We've got a motion. We got a second. Drew, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I would love to brag, if I'm allowed, 10 seconds.
Yes, sir.
On Younger Electric. I mean, it's rare you find
really honest people, and he saved us a whole week of labor. So I mean, went about the project in the right way and let us keep the money, so now we can do something else. So I would definitely recommend.
We call Richard Younger and JR. JR will second it. I mean, we concur. And don't go anywhere.
Oh, sure.
I want Zach. Could you put up? There we go. So this is just an aerial view of the dirt pile is where the next 4 fields have been earmarked to go. Then you have the current for 4 fields, and then you have the parking. And if you look to the left-hand side of the parking there, going towards the creek.
Get up there and point.
Drew, will you? So you've got the creek there, but you have a retention basin, and at the end of the parking is an area that JR and I talked about. We could put some fill dirt in and a culvert and flatten out, and that might be a good central location between the 2 fields. David made a very good point, and he said, my concern is the proximity to the creek. And
the fact that it's so far from the fields and the proximity to the creek, and we know how, like, Stacy, you take your kids to baseball tournament stuff, and they just dart.
Point where Joe.
You don't see them for hours.
Right up here.
So
And that retention pond?
at the end of the retention basin, do you see where the culvert runs, like the ditch runs down?
Yeah.
I could jump, but it'd be embarrassing.
My question would it be, could it go here in this corner?
No.
Why?
I hate it being so close to traffic.
Yeah, and it should.
Well, here's what I'm going to. But here's what I'm going to propose, David.
Yeah.
As you come out of that main entrance to the fields right there, as you go around to the left, if we just started a fence that ran alongside the retention, and like if kids and moms and dads were walking down through there, they couldn't go to the left. It funnels them to the playground, and then we'd put a fence around the playground. I'm just throwing this out for conversation because that's
What if you put a fence where David recommended it go?
I mean,
Just so parents could see the kids.
I'm open to that. I'm just.
I would love this one. Closer to the fields.
So that area.
I mean,
Well, we're going to have to put another one in.
yeah. Or you're going to do something.
So that you're saying this end and put a fence around it.
Are we talking like a big playground? We're talking like a couple pieces.
I think Drew had said the
What you want
footprint
to
on this was like 100 by 85.
Correct.
You know, I'm just trying to get your all's feedback because I want to order it. I'd like to order the $150,000 worth of playground equipment out of this year's budget.
I think where Drew said is probably safest
Man, that
for
would be your best
parents
spot.
to see their kids.
So can I ask you all to do this week? Drive out there and look where Drew's pointing. Look where David pointed up there. David's talking about right there in the to the. You're talking about really outside. I hate for.
Are you talking about the other end of the parking lot?
The end of that parking lot, like
Yeah.
So
where it used to be gravel.
Well, I think we got to add more
Kinda goes
parking
up a hill.
because
beginning at 10 o'clock Saturday morning, there is a softball tournament that Great Crossing is hosting. So if you want to come out there and see with it filled with people, filled with cars, there's no cost to pay, or there's no cost to drive through. Well, we're charging to drive through. We're not costing. There's no cost to come in.
But
I'm just joking.
David, are you talking about? I think where you're talking about, that's
on this side of the road. He's talking about this side of the road.
He-
It would be across the road.
you're talking about this side of the road, David.
Next to the
It
road.
would be easier just to do it right outside the ball field, not little to the right, other side there.
Over
Yeah,
here?
there. And
Oh,
put
no.
put a fence there. and try to fence it all.
Well, here's what I want y'all to do. That's guardrail fencing. I want you to go out there Saturday or in between now and next Friday, and let's talk about this again on Friday at our next workshop. And let's
Try to go, is it a weekend tournament?
Yeah.
Try to go this weekend to see.
Last point I would make is this here will be away from traffic.
Yeah, that's going to be.
You literally can't drive onto it, and parents will still be able to watch their kids play ball and play on the playground at the same time.
I wonder if we could. I wonder, JR, if we could get 4 stakes or 8 stakes and stake off like 100 by 85 square, just in those 2 places to show, hey, this is a footprint. And of course, we don't want to do that Saturday because people will be parking everywhere and going everywhere. But we could put it, down there. But I just wanted the conversation and if you can go out there and then we can talk some more and we can make a decision. Appreciate it, Drew.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
I have no other new business.
Judge, can I ask one question?
Is that,
yeah,
is
go
that
ahead.
on purpose, or is that just that's part of the design, that retention pond?
So Drew and Judge, is the complete intention to have the playground around the baseball fields, or do you just want to have a playground at the park? Because there's probably other. I mean, you go down there by the boat ramp, and there's a lot of flat area there.
I hate putting it closer to the creek, and then the thought process was close to those ball fields, in between the ball fields, because that's just where your people are.
Okay, I got
I
you.
do like it being in between the ball fields somewhere.
That's what I was trying to navigate.
Yeah, my thought would be that's where people are going to spend the most time.
Okay, I got you. I'm just, I'm there. I'm just
And
wondering.
you got, over here on the far right, you've got the dog parking lot, and the dog park and the trail, and in between now and after we finish this sheriff's office project, I want to be able to. I want to get somebody to draw a couple options for finishing the loop of the walking trail, just to have that looped out.
They're walking out on the road.
Are they?
Yeah.
I mean,
to make a loop.
Would you all?
You have to.
Would you all like us to put some seed money in the budget for next year?
Yes.
Because that's not a crazy expensive project.
Yeah.
So,
but we didn't want to bank it and dig it up either. So
no.
it's,
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else for Drew? Okay. Thank you, Drew. Any other new business? I have no other new business. Any new business from anyone here with us? Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion from Kelly Corman, second from David Livingston. All those in favor? We're adjourned. Thank you all.